What's up, brand builder? I'm Mash Bonigala, and welcome to another episode of the Brand Builder Show. In this episode, what is your brand promise? When most people think of a brand, they sort of remember the logo, icon, a slogan, or even a jingle. But at the most basic level, a brand is a promise. It is much more than your company logo design, your corporate colors, or any other brand asset. The promise you make to your target audience and the world at large is what makes or breaks your brand. It makes it when you have a strong promise on which you deliver on all the fronts, and it breaks it when you fail to keep your promise. Now, branding and positioning experts like Jack Trout and Al and Laura Rees emphasize that your brand should stand for one thing in the customer minds, only one thing. Strong brands have captured that certain mind share in the market. You must identify the mind share that you would like to own by going through a competitive positioning strategy exercise. Now, I've done a previous video on this particular topic if you would like to check it out. To illustrate the point, let's look at some examples. Mind share and the brand that owns it. So first, the mind share: overnight delivery, FedEx; safe cars, Volvo; cotton swabs, Q-tips; MP3 player, iPod; ketchup, Heinz; low fare airline, Southwest; copy machines, Xerox; internet search, Google, of course. Now, don't be intimidated by the size of these companies. Google was able to capture this kind of mind share in less than 10 years with little or no advertising. While few companies will ever be as successful as Google, their biggest product, their company mission, and the mind share that they own all were aligned and perfectly. And that is where the secret lies. So, what is your brand promise? What does your brand stand for? What promises do you make to your target audience? The first thing to note is that a brand promise is not simply a description of what the company does or its offers or so on to the customers. It is what it promises them beyond the service or product. It is the promise of how it will deliver value to the marketplace. Now, that is very important. You got to remember that value. You can tweak your brand promise to continually improve it, but the important part is to understand and embrace the concept. The strongest brand promises convey value to the target market or buyer personas. Now, think of your promise as your core selling philosophy. The shortest and simplest way to convey your value to the market is your brand promise. Now, it takes years or even decades to deliver on your brand promise to the market consistently to achieve a kind of a singular word mindshare. And most companies will never achieve it. But by trying hard, it is far better than having no plan at all. So brainstorm, decide, and refine. Consider your brand architecture. So what is your value proposition? What are your strongest emotional benefits that you deliver, or your brand pillars? Now, what are your brand means? What are your market segments' greatest pains? And what are your brand's human personality traits? Now, I know I put a lot of jargon into my last sentence, lots of technical terms, but not to worry. I will do series of videos on each of those terms: brand pillars, brand architecture, and so on and so forth. And when you view all these videos together, it'll make perfect sense. As you're thinking about your brand promise, keep in mind that owning a single word in the customer's mind is extremely difficult and often requires brands to use longer promises over time to own the single word. Now, do not think of it from a marketing perspective, but from a mission and vision perspective. Start off with believing that this brand promise is something that you will keep internal to your company and is not meant to be plastered all over your website or on your other touch points. Think of it as an internal promise that only the stakeholders and employees are privy to. This will ensure that your brand promise can remain true and not become just another crutch, to sort of prop your marketing. Now let's look at some famous brands and their brand promises. Coca-Cola, to inspire moments of optimism and uplift. Virgin, to be genuine, fun, contemporary, and different in everything that we do at a reasonable price. Now, neither Coca-Cola nor Virgin talk about their products or services. You will see this with any major brand out there. Instead, they make promises to their customers about the experience that they will deliver. It's their brand promise. So today, make a conscious effort to lift yourself above the fluff of traditional marketing that you've been doing and start thinking with aspiration, in an aspirational way. Create a brand promise and deliver it consistently for success. I hope you found this episode useful. If you have any questions about this topic, please hit me up on Twitter. My handle is @Bonigala. Or leave a comment below this video and I will surely respond. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel so that when my next episode comes out, you will be alerted. Till my next video, take care.